I'm Holly Constant.
And I'm Maddie Hockaday. We really love Parks and Rec, and we really love behind-the-scenes details.
So we're researching everything from DVD extras like deleted scenes and commentaries,
plus interviewing cast and crew who actually worked on the show.
We also bring on guests and friends to geek out about everything parks.
So join us, you tropical fish.
This is literally the best Parks and Rec rewatch podcast.
We're your park pals.
There's a park and some pals, and there's also therapy too.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, technology.
What a day.
Nothing.
Everything's
messed
working.
up on me. I know.
Don't jinx it. Knock on wood. Okay. All right. Are you ready?
I am so ready.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Season 5, episode 2, or 10, 2 parties is what I meant to say.
Parties.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
2 parties. Parks has arrived in this season. I mean, we are known. We are popular. We're getting some people up in this show. Okay?
Oh, I know. So many people in this
Nuts.
episode. And
Nuts.
I honestly wonder with a lot of like the famous people that come in, do they like want to be there? So they're like, oh yeah, I'll come on just to like be on.
I wonder.
Or do they get paid? Because I think like about football players, like you can kind of reach a different like group of people if you do a show like this.
Yes.
And people will be like, okay, Andrew looks cool. Maybe I'll cheer for the Colts if they don't have a team or whatever.
Yeah. 100%. I don't know. I didn't find too much about. I Googled how did the Colts become a part of this episode, and I found like some cool articles about like how excited they were and like pictures and things, but I didn't find a ton of research on like how they
how it happened,
felt about being on there, or like them being asked to be on it, or that kind of thing. So maybe someone will tell us that later, or I'll find it somehow else. I don't know.
Yeah,
but anyhow,
we need the inside scoop.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was written by Dave King, directed by Dean Holland. So both of these guys are huge backbones of Parks. And Dave King makes a few cameos, actually, in Parks as well. He's one of the Lurpuses. So I know. We had this huge conversation, if you're new here, about the Lurpus family. Mike Schur loves creating character names. If you're ever bored, go on IMDb and look at the guest star names because they are something to behold. And the Lurpus family is a family in Pawnee that is local, and the guy who Anne goes on a date with at the auction or whatever is a Lurpus, the pawn shop guy. And another guy who I'll get to is also a Lurpus. But they taste real good, that guy.
Oh, gosh.
But Dave King makes an appearance. We haven't seen him yet as a Lurpus, but he is in a deleted scene with the animal adoption thing that April sets up. That's deleted, so again, we haven't seen it, but, well, I've seen it, but the regular aired version did not show that. So we'll see him later on in the season. He wrote 7 episodes of Parks, and a couple of the ones that we've seen so far have been Citizen Nope and Live Ammo, which was the West Wing one that was inspired partly by West Wing / Bradley Whitford, who was in the show. And he also wrote some really great episodes coming up. Friendly reminder, he also worked on The Good Place, Live Ammo. Oh, wait, I already said Live Ammo. Good Place. And he's writing on a new Hulu show called The English Teacher, which, if you are a TikTok fan, you have seen the lead of The English Teacher. I forgot his name, but he does that trend. And it's like made people watch The English Teacher because of how much people are watching this TikTok. But, that's trend. I don't know if you've seen it yet, where it's like, I love your daughter. What can you offer her? And it's like this song. It's like, nothing, a good time, baby. I'll have to send it to you. And he like takes off his shirt and does this really funny dance. It's very, very funny. So anyways.
Okay.
Tangent.
Yeah. Send it to me. I don't spend a lot of time on TikTok. So it's mostly I have it so that I can open what people send me.
Yes.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, excellent team here. We are super fans of Dean Holland, as you guys already know. Again, if you're new here, he was a huge part of The Office as well, and was primarily one of the reasons why the mockumentary survives in the way that it did, apart from Greg Daniels creating it. Dean Holland was responsible for all of the jump cuts and crazy cuts of the mockumentary style. So lovely editing, and he has been directing quite a bit actually as we've gone on. So that's lovely.
Yay.
Okay, well,
Love
I'm ready
this
for a
team.
summary whenever.
Okay, here we go. It's Leslie and Ben's bachelor and bachelorette party. Anne plans a fun night in at her house, which is derailed by Leslie's motivation to save her park. Chris takes Ben and everyone else on a bachelor party tour to everyone's favorite places.
Yes, that bachelor party tour is very cute.
I'm all about it. I have thoughts and I have feelings about this, and I feel like they did it on purpose, but I love this episode primarily because of Ben's bachelor party.
I know,
think
it's so cute.
wonderful. Yeah.
Me too. Okay, well, we start this episode in the Parks Department, and Ken Hotate has come in, who, if you are, we haven't seen him in a minute, but he's the leader of the Wamapuk tribe in Pawnee, and offers him water, and he takes offense, but then he says he's messing with her, and he's, as you know, he's just so good at doing that.
Oh my gosh. I'm uncomfortable. I was
Oh my
with
God.
Anne. Like, Anne was like, that would be
Yeah.
me.
I almost don't want to bring this up, but I also felt like I need to say that I didn't know that that was offensive, and I needed to look that up. Not that I would have ever said it, because I didn't know what it means, and also because I'm not an offensive person, I would hope.
Right.
But yeah, it's associated with a myth that is the idea that Native Americans are more susceptible to alcohol problems due to their genetics or biology. And there's a bunch of other like myths, but it's been used to justify the colonization of native tribes, and it continues to be prevalent today. And research has shown that that is completely inaccurate and not correct. And alcohol intensity varies from individual to individual.
Yeah.
But that is what that's about. Did you know that?
I didn't. No, but I also researched because I was like, what's happening?
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
Originally, when I watched it, because then he asks for a whiskey, I thought that
Yes.
firewater was whiskey, which fair because that's how it feels going down.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's the exact same thing I found.
So I'm sorry that white people are awful and I hate us. Thank you so much. You can tell where my mind is today. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on. Okay, well, Leslie says she's trying to get the Wamapuk people involved in the Pawnee Commons project, which is great. I love this for Leslie.
I agree. I think that it's an homage to the fact that, hey, this tribe is a huge part of our town culture too. They should be part of it in a positive way, because she references the not so positive murals.
Right, exactly. And this land is theirs, so they should
Mhm.
be referenced in some way.
Yeah.
And I think that's never enough. It will never be enough, but it's something, that she's trying to build this relationship with the Wamapuk people because, as you just mentioned, Pawnee's relationship with the Wamapuk tribe has been more murdery.
Yeah. I love the way
Yikes.
she says that.
Mm-hmm. And then Ken says to have the casino be advertised, but we can't put that in a public park. And I love April's like, I think it's a slam dunk. We're done
Yeah.
here.
You delivered it the exact same way she does too. Yeah, she's just very like, yeah, let's go for it. Which is
Right.
She's not serious, but someone else who doesn't know her might think she is. But
Definitely.
I think it's definitely not the vibe we're going for. Like, we want to honor you and your tribe, but like, we don't need to be an advertisement for your business kind of
Well,
thing.
it's not even the
you know?
business. Like the business, I wouldn't
It's-
even mind having a sign. It's
it's
the motto
what
that
the business
he said.
is. Oh, and that too, yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
slots are downright filthy. I feel like
Yeah.
that's what it
But if-
really is. For me, personally.
Yeah. For me, if it was Wamapoke ice cream sponsored thing, but like a casino isn't necessarily like a kids
That's fair.
friendly
If
thing.
it's going to be a playground, yeah.
Yeah. That's my thought process, right? Is like, it's a playground for kids. So, because then if it was like an ice cream place, you could have like a little Dippin' Dots thing there too, which would be
Yeah.
really cute.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I wouldn't. I wouldn't mind having the casino on there. It's really just that motto is just so funny because I can see like a toddler trying to read that out loud and being like, "What does that mean?"
Yeah. hmm Yeah, very true. There are a lot of artifacts here, and so I'm wondering like what the play is. Like, is it there to make him see that they're like honoring all the artifacts? Was it they were using it to brainstorm how to create like what the park would look like?
Mm.
It's very intriguing that it's like they almost set up their room for this meeting.
Yeah, it sounds like a presentation, and they have
Mhm.
those things to kind of be a reminder to me, like you said, an homage.
Yeah.
You know, Leslie's all about the visual effects. So
That's very true. It's very true.
I also love Leslie and Anne's chemistry here, like not knowing whether he's joking or not. It's so good. Is he joking? I don't know.
Yeah. It is. They do a good job playing off each other.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Love it.
now Anne and Leslie are talking to Chris and Ben about the bachelor and bachelorette parties. I love this line. Anything that can be penis shaped will be
penis shaped. Can I say that Holly slammed that out of the park at my bachelorette party, and it was great.
Oh my God.
It makes it extra, like, I don't know, it makes you feel a little bit more like it's a bachelorette for some reason. I can't put into words, but
yes. I took the penis shaped things to an extreme when I did bachelor and bachelorette parties.
But I loved it.
I actually have a story that I wrote in the notes when okay, so well, first of all, for you there was just I don't know what I mean, I did that. It was like did we do like a pin the penis
the penis on the dude, on the hunk. Pin the junk on the hunk is what it was called.
Pin the junk on the hunk.
That's what it was.
Yes.
And all of the penises were different shaped and had different facial expressions.
Yes, and they all were so diverse. They were small, they were hairy.
It was, yeah. Yep.
That was fucking hilarious. I love it so much.
Yes, as do I. We also had penis straws.
Yes. Oh my God, I forgot about
penis
that.
Gummies. Penis and boob gummies because share the love.
Inclusivity.
Yep.
Yes. I remember the gummies. Oh my God.
They're very yummy.
Hilarious. I almost forgot about the junk on the hunk. That is hilarious. Oh yeah. My God.
That was a good find.
Great.
I didn't know that was going to happen. And when I showed up and there was like just penises spread across the kitchen table.
Love that so much.
Yep.
Oh my God. And the other story I have is when I did Sean's Bachelor, I got penis confetti. I don't know how or why I did this, but I found
for
it.
Sean too. That's awesome.
Yes, hilarious. Because again, I was not necessarily like the best woman or anything like that, but I think I was technically the best woman and someone else was the best man, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? But we were all on his like, you know, in his bridal party or groom party, whatever you want to call it. And this was for like his surprise bachelor, which he knew obviously, but whatever. I got it anyways. And so we all threw the confetti at him when he walked in the door. And I swear to you, for the next 2 years, no joke, we found confetti everywhere. I found confetti in like my closets, in my like towels. I mean, it wasn't like falling out. We would just find like one. And I remember we held it at my other friend's house who was also in the groom party, and he would find it randomly. They'd send me pictures. Sean would send me pictures of like, look what I found today.
Oh my God.
It was just everywhere. It was freaking hilarious. And there was these like little tiny pink ones. It was so fun.
It's like glitter.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was more
lives
like
on.
glitter.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you.
All the penis shaped things. Look, I'm not fucking around.
Yeah. It's no joke.
It is so funny that there was nipple stuff too, though. That's hilarious.
It's given me so many ideas for your one day bachelorette party that that happens. Yeah. You're just going to be thrown back with all your own confetti and penis shaped things.
Oh my God. Well, anyways, and yes, Anne is stress eating this because this is the penis gummies because this is a huge deal. Like a huge deal.
It is.
You know, for Leslie.
Well, and Leslie's usually the one that's got stuff planned and, you know, is in charge of, you know, I think I would feel the same way in the reverse. It's like, okay, but Holly's always so put together. She's always got everything planned so well. Like I have to be on my best because I don't want her to see something and be like, oh, but why didn't we get this? Because then I'm going to feel like I failed. And that's where like, I feel like Anne, you know, and it's not like you, right? It's just, you are always so good at getting all these things put together. That's the Leslie in you. And so it's like the Anne in me is like, I can't miss anything because she deserves everything to be perfect and not to worry about anything.
That's so nice. Well, I hope that you know I have mellowed, I feel, in the last couple of years. So I don't care anymore. I mean, obviously I care.
I just want penis things.
I just want a fucking penis shaped cake. Okay. And no
I
matter
can do
what
that.
happens will be great.
I can do that.
Although a nipple/vagina shaped cake would be fine too. Oh my God, we've gone off.
Boob
the deep end.
cakes.
Boob
Boob cakes are
cakes.
easier. Those are just domes
Yeah, perfect. Easy.
on it.
Okay, well.
Sorry,
listen.
everyone. Sorry, not
No,
sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry. Ben wants to play Settlers of Catan for his bachelor party, and everyone is super bored. But this is Ben's dream night. Like this is his fun, awesome time with everybody.
Yeah, I think I love board games. I love playing games with people. Not necessarily Settlers of Catan. That's not like typically my pace of game. But I kind of get it. Like I think if that was the only thing we were doing at my bachelorette party, I'd get kind of bored. But I would like to play board games. It's nice and interactive.
Yeah, I agree.
this is
I want to
crazy.
get this game. I want to get this one and play it with everybody because I'm very
wanna get it?
intrigued by it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like Risk. Like the guys at Berkeley used to play it.
Oh, okay.
Like Jake and Ivan and some of the other guys would play it.
Mhm.
And I think it's like a cross between Risk and, but like it's got kind of the same vibe of like you take territory and you run territory and you
Yes,
sell it and all that kind of stuff.
Right. So I'm intrigued. I'd like it. And this is a real board game. So I think at first I wasn't sure if it was. So it is. And side note, this is funny. There's a deleted scene where Jerry is confused because he actually, like everybody it's going around and everybody has their cards for Settlers of Catan. And Jerry's holding Uno cards. And he's like, guys, I don't think I have the right game. And it's so funny.
So funny.
And Tom is like, go sit over on the couch. Just get out of here, basically. And Andy's like, okay, I'll play that with you because I know actually how to play that game. And so that's why they're on the couch, if you'll notice.
Because
And technically, it's only a 4-player game, Settlers of Catan. So that worked out well.
Okay, that did work out well. My backstory for why they were on the couch. I said, in my head, asked too many questions and got kicked out. And
I mean, that's basically true.
And Andy just gave up.
That, honestly, that's the truth.
That's so funny.
Jerry asked questions about the Uno cards, and Andy was like, I give up. I can play that. So
Yeah.
you nailed it.
Love it.
Well, anyways, now we're, well, do you have anything before we get to Leslie stuff?
Are you going to the Leslie Paunchberger stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Then I'm good to go.
Okay. Well, we're unpacking the bachelorette party stuff for Leslie, and we see that the park where Pawnee Commons is supposed to go, which is right behind Anne's house, because that's where the pit was, memories, and has tow trucks and tractors, and things are happening over there. And we learn that JM and Catherine Pinewood from the Pawnee Restaurant Association are laying the groundwork for a new Paunchberger. Totally
There's
going back on this agreement.
There's no way, right? Because they would have had to already purchase the land. Like, because you'd have to have the permits and everything to do this. I doubt that they could actually do this in real life.
But Leslie didn't have the permits when she got her tow truck thing, or
Oh, and she went and
like to fill in the
filled
pit?
in the pit.
I think they can just hire
That's
people,
fair.
man.
However, I will say they put a Paunchberger sign out.
Yes, that probably was false.
That's definitely ballsy, because now you're saying you're putting Paunchberger in a tough spot because they're claiming that they're the ones doing it. So good. I totally forgot that Leslie did that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're right, though, where it seems like Paunchberger probably wasn't notified of this, but since Catherine Pinewood is from the Restaurant Association, like she probably gave the go-ahead and signed off on something like that was not correct. So like Paunchberger could be involved and Catherine Pinewood could just be the backbone of it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think they had anything put together as far as legally goes. I think they were just, again, being shady and shitty.
Yeah.
Ugh, awful.
Agreed. I hate it. It's super gross. It's like they must feel some sort of threat from Leslie, because if they didn't, they could just wait to win and be done with it.
Agreed. Jam is wearing a stupid orthodontist shirt or jacket thing again, which
Yeah.
I hate, but also, like, as a show, BTS lover, like, okay, that's cool that they made that, but mad at him.
We just don't like Jam anyway.
I know. Also, side note, I did talk to Mary Faber, who plays Catherine Pinewood. So please listen to that interview if you haven't already. And she's great, and her and Jam, I feel, have a great relationship. And well, chemistry together.
Good chemistry, yeah.
Also, that sign though, oh my god, future home of Paunch Burger, start drooling
Drooling
fatties.
Ugh.
Awful. Makes me sick.
Why are you not like offended by that? It makes me so sad.
I know. And then Leslie reminds them that they had a deal. We wait the 3 months to get the proposal together, and then a vote happens. And, Jam is like, literally, fuck you in other certain terms,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't care. So he started anyway. And he literally says that. He's like, oh, I forgot. I don't care. So we're just going to do it anyway. And he has the support of administration. So why the fuck not?
Right.
And that's really terrible. And then this is when this guy comes up. This is another Lurpus, by the way.
Yes. Who also has had some run-ins with Andy in the past.
Yes.
Like when Andy's taking his bath in the pool, the baby pool.
Oh, different dude,
right?
I think.
Is
no,
it?
I think that's a different dude, but but you're right that this Lurpus has had some run-ins with Andy, but
okay.
No, that's oh god, I forgot his name, but he's on a ton of shows now. I think that's like Eric Edelstein or something like that. Hilarious. Which I don't know why he didn't come back more. But no, This guy is the one that when Andy and April are trying to make the most money at Snakehole, that he tries to sell like something in the bathroom, and he's that guy. That was his first appearance of like, I'll take a mint or whatever, and he's like, oh, sorry, I don't have any mints. After he took the $1 or whatever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And it's also when they're all having dinner with Ron and Andy's professor, this guy's at the bar with Chris, and Chris is like, bye friend, like you're my friend because you're sitting next to me. That's also him.
Okay.
So he like randomly makes appearances, but this is my personal favorite appearance that he makes, because whenever I think of him, I think of but they taste real good. But his name, by the way, I did want to do a brief breakdown if you're not familiar with him. His name is Mike Mitchell in real life, and his Lurpus name is Bjorn Lurpus. Bjorn.
Wow, that's such a cultural name for Pawnee.
And I've said this before also, but he hosts a podcast called Doughboys where he rates fast food actually and other foods and snacks and stuff. So that's really actually kind of hilarious that he's in love with Paunch Burger.
Yeah, love that.
But this is the reason I keep saying, their burgers will kill you. And the reason he says that is because April says their burgers will kill you. Yeah, but they taste real good. I keep saying but they taste real good.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's his most memorable line for me, and it's perfect. So that's another Lurpus.
Yes, I think that's a very common response to a lot of things that in current day and age are not good for us. It's like, but it tastes good.
Right.
So.
Right. So anyway, also I just caught that he says he's technically married, but his wife knows the deal because he's trying to hit on Anne. I don't remember that part.
Jam?
Is that the first time we're learning that? Yes, Jam, sorry.
Yeah, I think that is the first time. But he doesn't he mention her later too when Chris is playing the referee and Leslie's trying to get the lockbox?
Yeah, I was trying to, because he says wife and then it's like a picture of a golfer, like a famous golfer or whatever. I'll have to.
Yeah, but that's like his fantasy.
Oh.
I think. I don't think that's his wife.
Oh, I think you're right. He does mention it like she left or something.
Yeah.
I think.
And she hasn't come back or something like that. It's kind of sad.
It is.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We realize later we're really sad for Jam. We don't agree with how he's responding to life, but
he's just an insecure little baby.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's still stupid in this moment. So
I agree.
Moving on. Back at Ben's bachelor party, Ben is just having the time of his life. He is so obsessed with Settlers of Catan. He's glad he's winning. He's nationally rated, so it's not even fair. And everyone else is like, what? Okay.
This seems like a game Ron would actually be good at.
Mm-hmm.
And that he would actually enjoy.
Yeah.
So.
I can't remember. Do you watch 30 Rock or have you watched it before?
I've watched not every episode, but like I've watched probably most episodes.
Well, there's kind of a parallel here. I feel there's an episode, long story short, there's an episode where Jack, the main character, plays this game that's based on Settlers of Catan, but it's a fake one for their show. They didn't, use that name. And Jack is basically the Ron character, and he's like, he wins the whole thing. And I was like, this is so the vibe, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. If
That
Ben
was
wasn't
really
nationally ranked, Ron had a chance.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. He even claps for him. Like,
Yeah, he
Ron's
does.
not a super, like, expressive guy, and he claps because Ben won. So good for you, Ron.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Chris proposes a very sweet proposal. Then he goes on, like in a very sweet, not proposal, sorry, like speech kind of thing.
Toast. Yeah.
Toast. And he goes on to say that he has it's so funny. Ben says he has a lot of Homeland episodes because the night's about to end and they can finish off the night by watching Homeland. And I was like, oh my God, they are not into it.
Homeland's also not like the show that you put on when people are over. Like,
Right.
I haven't seen it. I've seen like clips of it because my mom and brother watched it. And so like I've like would if we were all home visiting at the same time, I'd watch like a couple, minutes of it. And I'm like, you have to like know what's going on. You can't just hop in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ben, not a good suggestion. Like, I know it's your night, but like no one's gonna for me, it's like for me to have a good time, I feel like the people around me have to be enjoying themselves and like interacting with me.
Yeah, that's
And so I like I would feel really weird doing
That's Capricorn behavior, bitch. It is, and I love that.
Living my Capricorn qualities for real.
No, it's so
for sure.
true. I hope that doesn't come off meanly because it's not.
No.
My friend Molly, who is my dear friend
I love
here.
Molly.
Yeah, she's also a Capricorn, and she said that very same thing about something that she did a while ago. She was like, "But I want everyone else to be having a good time. That means I'll have a good time."
Yeah.
I was like, I'm very close friends with a lot of Capricorns. Sorry.
I feel that vibes.
Yeah.
There are certain signs that
Yeah.
vibe.
Anyway, sorry, I feel like I'm going on a lot of tangents today. I just
That's
skip
what we're
ahead
here
if you
for.
need to,
But, like,
folks.
people
Yeah.
are either gonna love us and our tangents, or they're not, and that's fine.
That's
If you
fine.
can always
All
fast
right.
forward, they know this.
Yeah, or you can stop listening. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, Tom is like, no, we have to do something fun and wild and cool. And honestly, I'm kind of on Tom's side, I feel, because I'm like, you need to do something like really celebratory and like out of like the normal thing to celebrate, because I love that, Ben is having a great time and this is fun for him, but this is like once in a lifetime, bro. And like, I just want you to have like an other life experience. You know what I mean? And so he suggests going to this bar, and maybe Ben's a Capricorn because he's like, as long as the group's happy, I'm happy. And I love that Andy like offhandedly in the middle of that says, oh, somebody's got to spot me. It sounds expensive.
That is the first time I have ever noticed that
Really?
he said that. Yeah.
Hilarious. I love that.
So I loved that so much.
Okay. I love that
sorry.
you caught it because it is right in the middle of when Jerry's saying it.
Right.
Of Jerry's saying his line.
He's saying his own thing. Yeah. And I've just never caught it. And today I was like, that's hilarious and accurate. Like,
Yes.
It does sound very expensive. Anything Tom's going to choose is going to be expensive.
It's in Eagleton, so.
Yeah. But I have to say, I do have a note here that like, Tom, like, good for you. It doesn't sound like he complained. He played Settlers of Catan. He did what he needed to do for Ben, and then he lost it at the end. That's when he goes, oh. But I'm like, good for you, Tom, because season 1 Tom would have been like, I'm not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So
100%.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, now we are, we have that famous line basically from Ron where Tom is explaining, the molecular mixology, a new way, different way to drink alcohol. And Ron is like, son, there's no wrong way to consume alcohol. And then they get there. This is the wrong way to consume alcohol. Famous last words.
Yes. Okay, I have to tell you. So I went in to turn on subtitles because one of the times I was watching through, I had to turn it down because I think I was playing with the baby or whatever was happening. I turned it down, so I had the subtitles on so I could watch it as well. And when we go into the bar, there's a voice that comes on and says, what's it say? Over at Essence, a server brings a glass of foam. And I was like, what? And so I just kept watching. And then it would say, look over at another table and a flash of light. I was like, what is happening? And I figured out that I had turned my English on, but English AD.
Yes.
So I didn't know that was even a thing.
Oh my gosh. I've accidentally turned that on so many times, but I've accidentally turned it on where like they speak it out at you. So like it'll come through the screen. Was that happening for you too? Or is it just on the bottom of the screen? Like it written?
No, it was spoken.
Oh, it was spoken. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was spoken.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. So cool.
It is so cool.
Like really cool. But I was so confused for a minute, Holly. I was like, what version is this? I've never had this happen when I've watched this episode. But
right.
just a fun fact for everybody. Like that's really cool way that you can like remember what's happening on the screen if you can't be watching or whatever.
Yeah. Also, that was a stupid question. Of course, if it's 80, it has to be spoken because you're not seeing the screen. That was so dumb. Oh my God, I'm not cutting it out because I'm human. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it is great that that's an option. Podcasts have a lot of like ways to get transcripts now. Baby's coming on screen. Hi,
Killian
baby.
says hi.
Hi.
He got a haircut today.
Aww. He looks good.
He does.
He knows it. He knows it.
Yeah, you know you're cute. Yeah, remember, we don't touch that part. Everybody can hear you touching.
Yeah, that is cool, though. I love that. The AD thing.
Yes. So, fun fact, because I had no idea.
Yeah. This looks like the same warehouse as Entertainment 720, and I wonder if they did that.
That's what I have written down, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it would make sense.
But also, it's not, I don't think, was Entertainment 720 in Eagleton?
No. I don't know. I think it's Pawnee. I think they wanted it to be in Pawnee. So.
Yeah.
It's probably not the same warehouse in like the show, but for background,
but in
they
real
might have
life,
used the same location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you'd think that Tom would brag about that.
Right. Agreed. Good point. I was kind of expecting John Ralphio to show up, honestly, at this place. When I saw it, I was like, this is John Ralphio's spot, I feel.
Yeah.
But I do have to do a full recap of everything they ordered. First of all, Andy ordered a Bud Light, and it's like a cotton candy looking thing, like the foam.
I would
whatever.
eat that.
Oh my gosh, it looks good. I wonder if it actually tastes like Bud Light. Number 2, Tom ordered something that makes the waiter say, "May I chisel your atmosphere?" Or aromasphere, rather. Yeah. It's like a little ball that he can like crack open. And Tom is so excited about it. And then Ron ordered scotch, and it's a whiskey-infused lotion. Oh, dear.
This is the worst one he could have gotten. That's the note I have. Because somebody else has to physically touch him.
Yes.
Oh,
and
poor Ron.
In case anyone... Yeah. Oh, my God. In case anyone was interested in the deleted scenes, Jerry got a Shirley Temple, and it's this tiny-looking weird thing that they brought him, even though I'm sure there's no alcohol in it. And then Chris got a sparkling water, and it was just this huge, like, cube of ice, like, but huger than a rocks glass. It was just like a huge cube of ice, and Chris tries to bite into it. And then Ben got a rum and Coke, and it looks like icing or fake snow or something on top of a cup. And it was just hilarious. And then the waiter in this deleted scene asks if Ron wants another scotch, and Ron is truly about to punch him. And Ben's like, you should probably just step away.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Don't mess with Ron's alcohol. His steak or his alcohol. What are you doing?
No. This waiter's name is Iker Amaya, and he has been in Minx, Pam and Tommy, where he has a wild hairdo. You guys should look it up on IMDb. It's amazing. And Pam and Tommy is the show about Pamela Anderson, by the way, which I still need to watch that.
And what's his name? Who is she with?
Tommy something. Because it's literally called Pam and Tommy.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, God. I forgot his name. Tommy Jones? No.
Tommy Lee Jones. Was it Tommy?
Tommy Lee Jones. I think that's it.
Is that the same guy that what's her face was with, and they wore blood?
I don't know.
Each other's blood. Angelina Jolie.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, they wore each other's blood in a necklace. Weird.
Yikes.
Sorry, super side tangent.
The guy who plays again, tangent. I'm just gonna put that at the beginning of the show. But the guy who plays, oh my god, what's his name in Captain America? The one that like turns bad, but like is Captain America's friend.
Oh yeah. Stan something.
He plays Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, cool. Yes,
So anyways.
Sebastian Stan. That's his name.
Okay, yeah. And then this waiter, again, back to him, he was in also For the Love of Jason. Like, he's been in a lot of stuff, and he was really nice, and he sent me a voice memo, actually. I'm very excited that he sent it to me because he was very quick on getting it back to me, so thank you so much for sending that. I haven't listened to this yet, so I'm excited to listen to it firsthand. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
Hey, Holly. Hey, Maddie. How's it going? It's Eker. I played the waiter on Parks and Rec.
Eker.
Season 5, Episode 10, the Aromasphere Chiseler. So, yeah, thanks for doing this. This was a lot of fun going back memory lane because this role was actually quite important for me. It's the first TV role, and they say it's the hardest to get, but not only because of that, but I was thrilled because, it was Parks and Rec. It was awesome. It was like one of the best shows at the time, still is. So that was really cool getting the call after, I go in and I read with the casting director, Dorian Frankel, and then like about an hour and a half later, I get this call that I booked it. And I wasn't too sure that I was going to, I felt like I did a good job, but I also felt like, I don't know if my choices were the right ones because, it's a comedy. But then, I made the decision that they are the funny ones. I'm not. It's the situation that's funny. I'm not. So just play it straight-laced. And it worked out. So then the day of the shoot, I was there for about 5-6 hours. Because you get there, you get the wardrobe, the hair, the makeup. You have to wait for them to set up at the location. And it was in a nightclub in Hollywood Boulevard. And then once that's all set up, then they shuttle you in, and everything was good to go. All the dancers were placed, the extras, the nightclub was pumping, the guys were sitting at the table already, or and then they bring me in, and they're like, all right, we're gonna go for it. And so it was a little intimidating, my hands were shaking the first time that I was trying to chisel the Aromasphere, because I was told that we only had a limited amount of these, because I think they were made out of, I'm not sure what they were made out of, but they looked sort of like made out of sugar or something like that. They were kind of fragile. So we had to do it a couple times because the chiseling went fine, but it was once I did that, this smoke was just like sort of staying in there. So it was actually Aziz who like started wafting it in to bring it out. So that was a good problem solving on his end. We did it like about 4 takes, and then the director comes over to us and says, "Good job, guys, we got it. But we're just gonna do one last one, do some improv and see what we can get." And I think that's the one they went with because it was about 70-80% to what the audition was actually like, what was on the script, but with a few little nuances here and there. And then my favorite part, of course, was rubbing the lotion on Nick Offerman's hands. He's literally the nicest guy. And I was actually, a little side note, but I was excited that I was going to get to work with him again on Pam and Tommy, but our days didn't overlap. So anyways, that was fun. So after we did the improv one, they're like, all right, we're going to send you guys back to trailers, and you guys can hang out there. We're going to see if we need another angle or another setup and go from there. So we get sent back. We're all in the same trailer, which is a bit unusual, but it was super cool, I was literally just hanging out with them, and they were all friends and had been working together for 5 seasons. And so, I was the odd man out for sure, but Chris Pratt and Nick Offerman they came up to me and could tell us everything. And so we talked about acting. We talked about just life. And Yeah, they were super cool. They made it very easy to be on set, and it felt like it went by way too quick. Um, so yeah, again, thanks for doing this. This was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys got something you liked.
Yay, that was so great.
Very cool.
I am Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It's Eker, not Iker. Eker, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm the worst. Thank you for your forgiveness. I love to
Very cool.
Yeah, I also love to hear how fast that decision happened, because you said like an hour and a half or so, but even if it wasn't an hour and a half and it was like the same day, I feel like that's a really fast decision to be told that you booked it. Love the fact that it was on Hollywood Boulevard. The dancers, I forgot to talk about the dancers. Oh my gosh, there's this woman doing splits in like this mesh looking fish net thing. It's nuts. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
And
That I've seen something kind of like that at a club here in Phoenix.
Really?
And it's not like a crazy club either. They have this huge, like, it looks like a hula hoop in the air, and
Yeah.
they're like women who come and do like aerialists, like gymnasts who come do like moves and stuff in there. It's like entertainment while you're dancing and drinking.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then the last thing is I love hearing about the Aromasphere and like hearing that they only had a handful of them and they weren't
Yeah.
like a lot of them, because
And
that's
who,
awesome.
and who had to create them? You know, like
Mhm.
who had to come up with like he said, maybe it was made out of sugar. Like who had to
Yeah.
come up with what that was going to be? It's crazy.
Yeah. And the fact that, yeah, I guess I didn't even think about that the smoke does need to come out for the Aromasphere. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's awesome.
Yeah. Good thinking.
Well, thank you so much, Eker, for sending that in. That is amazing. I will tag him on Instagram and post his Instagram and stuff in the show notes so you guys can follow him. I love his hairdo in Pam and Tommy. I didn't watch it, but I saw it on IMDb. Can't wait to watch it because it looks so cool. So good job on that. Well, good job to the hair department, I guess, but also you for having that hair.
I just looked it up, and it looks like it's going to be really interesting. So
yeah.
Well.
I will say that this idea of the bar is so brilliant. Like, I feel like if this was real, people would be flocking to this bar to try it. You know, it would be like one of those pop-up situations where it's like, if this is only a limited time, like the vodka that's served in a flash of light. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? That would be so on the top of people's list to go to.
Yeah. You don't have to taste it, but you get the after effects.
Bizarre. Well, now we're at Leslie's, and she has a cowboy hat with a penis on her head, and she's super bummed because of the Paunch Burger groundwork. And I love that Anne is just trying to be positive and is like, I need you to be happy drinking right now, like when we watched Grease together.
Yeah. Aw. I love that.
know.
Happy drinking. There's a difference between sad drinking and happy drinking.
1,000%. Yes.
Yeah.
Side note. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go with your side note, because mine's also a side note.
Okay, well, I was just going to say in the deleted scenes, Leslie does have a nopeism, and she says, "You foolishly optimistic hedgehog." I thought that was so lovely.
Oh, cute. I love it. No, my side note was going to be, a lot of people talk about there being different alcohols that make them feel different ways. And I can see that there's definitely certain alcohols that make me more tired and certain alcohols that like boost me up. But I think a lot of it has to do with how you feel when you start drinking.
Mm-hmm. It's your intention.
Yeah, it's the intention, because I think the alcohol just exacerbates what you started at.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And Anne says, you know, there's nothing you can do about it tonight. And this obviously gives Leslie an idea. And I'm like, Anne, do you know Leslie but at all?
At all?
If you say there's nothing you can do tonight, she's going to do something tonight. There's
She's
always
gonna
something she can do at any
explicitly
time
find
of
a
any
way.
day.
Yeah. How does no one notice she's gone?
I wonder that too.
She has to drive all the way back to the office.
Bless you.
Excuse me. She has to drive all the way back to the office, pick out all the artifacts, go and plant them in the pit. She covers some up, and then go back to the party.
Right. Agreed. She takes a long time. So
Yeah.
I guess they just think that she's in the bathroom for a long time. I don't know.
That's so funny.
But yeah, Leslie explains that there's a law that if any sacred Wamapoke artifact is found on a development site, all construction must stop immediately. So Leslie gets the idea to plant Wamapoke artifacts, and I think some are fake and some are real because, they've got the artifacts from the meeting, which, to be honest, I think that was one of my catches that I didn't notice until this time, because usually I think I just thought that they were fake and she was just planting fake things that she found in the office, but these do look like real ones that they used in the presentation, and then she probably throws in some fake ones too.
Yeah.
Because that that cup holder that she throws the pens out of, I'm sure that's not real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It just looks like it matches everything else. It's probably the vibe.
It is great that they passed that law, which I think is good, but also crazy.
Because it should be sacred ground.
I also love that she took the limo. Did you notice that all the stuff is in the back of the limo?
Yeah. Hey, you've paid for it. Use it. Why not? Yeah, I love it. She does such a great job here, Amy, right? She's explaining the rule, and she's like, basically, watch them build a paunch burger here now. And she starts this evil laugh, and it just grows. And then she's like, oh, this is bad. And luckily, I feel like I do that sometimes, but I haven't already done the thing. I've been like, but I could do this and then that and that. Oh yeah. And I could do this. And then I'm so proud of myself. And then I go, oh no, that's a really bad idea.
I should not have done this.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I love her going from start to finish and processing in real time that she shouldn't have done it, but she thought it was such a great idea.
Yeah. I think she did a great job. The acting there is so good. The delivery.
Yes. Well, now we're back at the bachelorette party. Somehow Leslie has come back and ordered a stripper. And it's Babe Lincoln.
Babe Lincoln.
Love that so much.
The amount of, I don't even know if you would call them puns. What would you call them here?
I think they're puns.
Yeah, they're so great. The Babe Lincoln,
emancipate those abs.
Emancipate those abs.
Oh my God.
The Gettysburg undress.
Yes. So good. Tear it up, 16.
Yeah.
I love Donna so much.
Donna. He comes in and he's ready. And who's the lucky Mary Todd?
Me first.
It's Leslie. And Donna's like, no, I'll go first.
I love it.
The balls on her.
There is a deleted scene here I have to play that Donna actually has some amazing cut lines. So I'll just play that for you.
Nice.
Well, let's move that table against the window. That way this can be our dance floor. And this chair, of course, is mine.
Yours? What about Leslie?
What about Leslie? You snooze, you lose. All right, so his junk, my face. Yeah, that'll work.
So she holds her hand up and she's like, his junk, my face. Oh my God, it's so funny. We were talking about Tear It Up 16. Okay.
Yeah.
And all of the puns. And
All the
Leslie
puns.
had a sex dream about Abe Lincoln, which I love. I think that's such a cool detail, and so her.
And I think, we've gotten a glimpse into that before when Ron got the butt dial.
Oh my gosh, yes, so true.
Yeah, she's got
Totally.
a political fetish, kind of.
Yes. Also, the fact that April knows this guy is so embarrassing. Oh my God.
Small town, man.
But at the same time, he probably makes decent money, so no shame.
Yeah.
You know,
He's
it's
not
still
bad
work.
looking either.
Yeah.
Yeah. And good for you. Play that clarinet. Don't let anybody shame you about that.
100%. Well, this actor's name is Kyle R. Robinson. By the way, were you about to say something? Sorry.
No, I can say it after.
Oh, okay. He's been in Pop Star with Andy Samberg,
Love
which
that
is
movie.
amazing. A TV show called Halston, a lot of short films. So he did a great job, and I love that they gave him quite a few other lines to have too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he pipes in later. Makes her feel bad. It's so funny.
What were you gonna say?
For me, it's just too many people. Too many people we don't know. And I know Leslie knows a lot of people, but I feel like most of the time the bachelorette party, you have it with people there that you can make an ass of yourself in front of, and they're just gonna love you through it and be so happy that you're doing what you're doing. And this just seems like there's 30 people there.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so back at the bar, everyone is talking about how no one has had a bachelor party. Andy didn't shower before or after his wedding, so that's nice.
Ben's face is like, no, this is not valid.
Yeah. I also love that Jerry is like saying that he had an emergency appendectomy and that's why he couldn't have a bachelor party. And then everybody just cuts him off and Tom goes boop. And that's his like timer. That's awful. That's really mean.
That is mean. I know. And it's so Jerry of him that he had a surgery too, though. Oh, Jerry.
Yeah. And Chris has this idea that everyone should get their bachelor party, which is so sweet and selfless, and I love that. And he says, the bar is Tom's bachelor party, and I love that his bride is Rihanna.
Yeah. We really did find love in a hopeless place.
Perfect.
I think this is so selfless of Ben.
Yeah, that too.
He's giving up. It's his night, and he's like, yeah, everybody should get a chance at their bachelor party. So nice.
Yeah. Shows he really cares about these people.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So Leslie tells everybody what she did about the artifacts at the site, and Glenn chimes in and says, yeah, that is pretty messed up.
Yeah.
I love the shut up, Glenn.
Yeah. April's the one on a first name basis with the stripper.
Right. And so they kind of get roped into trying to find these fake artifacts that Leslie hid. And April is so serious about the penis hats being good for digging.
Yeah. They cut digging time in half.
Yeah.
Easy.
Oh, poor Anne. Tried so hard to have a fun night for Leslie. And I think everything was going really well at first. But it's just what it is,
Perkins does it again. And I'm like, when did you do it the first time? Like, this doesn't seem like... Yeah, it's also not your fault that it's ruined. I think this is the part of the episode that hurts my heart a little bit, is that this is what her bachelorette party ended up being.
Yeah.
And I wanted Leslie to have like a really good time and to have a really good time. And I think they end up doing this, and it's the consequences to her actions, right? So it makes sense. But at the same time, I feel slighted.
And it's quintessential Leslie, I feel, honestly.
True.
So
that she put work before herself and having a good time. And yeah.
And at first it was fun for her. So
yeah.
to do this awful thing.
Oh yeah. The evil laugh.
Yes. Well, so now we are celebrating Jerry's bachelor party, and we're at Sherm's, the ice cream place, and he says this is where he met Gail, and she wasn't his type. Jerry, get out of here. Come on.
Whose type is she not?
Get out of here.
Come on. She is fine.
And then I love this. Fine. Yeah. I love that Ben tries to be really serious and find out how they can possibly be together. Like, what led you to hitting it off? Was she ill? Did your father owe her something, or her father owe you whatever? And I was like, oh my God, that's so funny.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Ben. And
Ben.
Chris cuts him off, right? Like in the Christmas episode too, he's like trying to understand, and Chris is like, it doesn't make sense. Just let it go. And this time again, he's cutting him off. He's like, it's not going to make sense, and it's fine.
I like Jerry's face too, where he's like really considering what he's saying, but he's also kind of confused. Like, what do you mean? How do we hit it off? I do want to mention that in the deleted scenes, Jerry is getting a pistachio because he's going wild tonight, but his usual is a double vanilla. So.
I love it. And
yes.
And someone always has a cone ready for him. That I think is wonderful and perfect.
Me too. And I also feel like, I know I'm kind of, yes, I'll get to the ice cream man. I feel like Chris is really working on his therapy now. You can kind of see that with each analyzing of each episode. Like all he cares about is that everyone is happy and, having a good time. And I really like seeing that part of Chris because I haven't really seen it in a minute. So I love that.
Yeah, he was really dealing with his own stuff and like internalizing and everything kind of.
And he has to.
Yeah.
It's a great lesson that you've got to take care of yourself before you can take care of other people.
Absolutely. He was still cognizant of other people and like their needs, right? Because at the engagement party, he locked himself in a room and was like, I'm not going to bring Ben and Leslie down during their night. But like there's just no ability to kind of put others first or anything like that. And we're seeing that side of him again. And I love that it came full circle because I think if we had gone much longer, I think people could have fallen off the Chris train.
Yeah, I agree. Well, this ice cream man comes over and like you said, he has an extra cone for him. Side note, he calls him Gary. So he really has been there forever, I feel, to know his real name. And he always has a backup because half the time he drops it. Oh my gosh, that is such a good writing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
This actor is named David Wells, and he's been in so many things. I feel like he's one of those journeyman actors that just has been in a lot of stuff. Shameless, 911 Lone Star, Mixed Dish, Beverly Hills Cop, Basic Instinct. Like, it's amazing. And I did talk to his agent, and I hope that he gets back to us. I think he's trying to figure out how to do the voice memos, but I said he could email or we could hop on a call real fast. But hopefully he gets to talk to us soon.
Oh, that'd be awesome. He does look familiar. Wasn't Rob
Yeah.
Lowe in 911 Lone Star as well?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Cool
Yeah.
crossover.
Mm-hmm. I love that Ron has ice cream all over his mustache and he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's so
Why?
cute.
I also love that we find out where they go next is dinner, basically, right? And they're having dessert before dinner.
Right. I know. That's
So.
true. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, Andy's bachelor dream party is impossible and so very specific. He wants to see the Colts beat the Patriots 49-0, and he makes Tom Brady cry. And also, I think this is funny because I feel like in this moment, I don't know if I realized that Chris making that phone call was like going to be for him, for Andy. And
No.
I think that's the point of it. You don't really notice that it's happening at all because it is perfect. I don't know if they did this on purpose, but you don't pay much attention to it because Ron's mustache is covered in ice cream and you're just
Yeah.
like staring at him.
Yeah, I think it was intentional, right?
Yeah, and he's calling a gym. You do hear him say gym
Mm-hmm.
to give them a favor.
Yep.
Next scene is the Colts Stadium. Just them in there, all the lights. And
It'd be
Jim
a
O'Hare
dream.
did say, oh my God, that's what Jim O'Hare said. He said he will remember that for the rest of his life. Like that's one of the, like walking into that stadium, just them, and then the lights coming on was like magical.
There's something about it that I cannot put my finger on. Even being there as an audience member, when you walk through the tunnel to where your seats are, right? There's the roar of the crowd, the lighting, the energy in a stadium, like when there's a sports game happening. It's just, and I would love to feel what that's like, where there's no one else there. No one's playing on the field. It's just this quiet, like heaven
Mm-hmm.
is what it seems like it would be. So cool.
Yeah. I love that Tom is like, oh, this is where they play the game. He doesn't know
So
what's going
accurate.
on.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Tom.
And then we've got Jim Irsay, who is the owner of the Colts. And Chris says that they became friends. This is the real dude.
Mhm.
They became friends / met while mentoring Indianapolis teens. Chris gave them tours of the State House, and Jim gave them Colts tickets and signed jerseys. And obviously, they like Jim's better.
They liked him. Yeah, they liked Jim better. Yeah.
And Reggie
absolutely.
Wayne.
Reggie Wayne.
Even I know who Reggie Wayne is.
Yeah, Reggie
I
Wayne.
love the lines they gave both of these football players. Reggie Wayne, I love that. Like, that's weird. You know,
Yeah.
like when Andy says that he got married in
Yeah.
his jersey. I can't look at you, Reggie Wayne. And Andrew Luck, oh my God, so good. He's like, okay, guys, settle down. After Jerry talks to him, and he didn't even say anything. He was just like, how are you? And I just love that so much. It made me laugh out loud.
Yeah, it's really good writing, and the football guys did a great job. Football players rather, they did a good job. And all I remember from when I first moved back to the States was "suck for luck." Did you hear
what's
that?
mean?
Yeah.
No.
So when the team with the worst record at the end of the football season has the first draft pick the next season, so unless they trade their first pick or whatever. So
Uh-huh.
the whole chant for the Colts was "suck for luck." So
What does that mean, though? Suck.
suck
luck?
like lose, be the
Oh.
worst team,
Okay.
so that they could draft Luck first.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I never heard that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, fun fact of the day.
Okay. Love that.
Yeah.
Andy says it's every groom's dream, which, okay, that's a little bit of a stretch, but it is his dream to catch a touchdown thrown by him. Keep the spiral tight.
Yeah,
I'll try. I wonder how many takes it took for him to catch that. Like, maybe not many.
No, you're dealing with the NFL quarterback, and Chris Pratt, who probably played at least high school football, would be my guess.
Yeah.
So, if he knows where he's going, I think
Yeah.
easy. I mean, did they take more than one take? Yes, but
Right.
I don't think he dropped it very many times. Would be my assumption.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
And apparently, you never know. And Pratt, that little dance he does when he catches it is also the dance he does in Guardians of the Galaxy. So that's like totally like a Pratt thing.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a really interesting kind of little tidbit for us to see if you're a Pratt fan. But then I love, okay, well, I'm moving on to the next scene. Are you good with football scene?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I just love that they're playing Shoop in the car. The Shoop, Shoop-a-doop. And I just love that they're all singing it and they're calling Anne to rub it in. I love this. We're surrounded by hot guys.
The confidence that they've just like glommed onto
It's so
in this
beautiful.
night. And the bromance that's starting here, right? Like we've seen Anne and Leslie for 5 seasons now be besties and them kind of rope Donna and April along here and there. And now we get this bromance that kind of just continues to grow from here on out.
I know. I love it. I love Donna too while they're on this call. No, we paid for an hour. You're going to dig for an hour because Glenn doesn't want to dig.
She's doing nothing.
I know. Hilarious. Oh my God. There is also a great deleted scene here, which I think is so funny. I wish this had somehow made it in, but there's a great deleted scene where Babe Lincoln / Glenn becomes the temp for Leslie because she learns that he can type really fast, and he's like in her office in like a button down with a tie and is like working for her. And I love that.
Oh, I'm here for that.
So I'm keeping that in my, mindset of what, the park's
reality.
lore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyhow, so now we're at St. Elmo's Steakhouse, which is real for everyone that didn't know. It's the oldest Indianapolis steakhouse in its original location, which we didn't even really talk about this, but yes, they did actually go to Indianapolis to film this.
Wow.
They were on location for the
stadium. They had to be for the stadium, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And since they were there, I think they did a great job of taking advantage of things that were actually in Indianapolis that they've mentioned many a time, including St. Elmo's Steakhouse. Jerry, oh my God, this next part's so crazy. Jerry gets a table that was accidentally for Newt Gingrich, not Gergich, and they really pulled out all the stops for this. Did you hear the story of how Newt Gingrich got on the show?
No.
Oh my God, I'm going to tell it to you. Okay, I wasn't sure if I would just be repeating, even though I would say it anyways, but I found an article that said Newt Gingrich was actually just in town to meet with the Indiana governor at the time, and he asked his driver like where he should stop for lunch. Where should they go for lunch or dinner? I think it was lunch. But basically just like, where's a local good spot to go? And the driver said St. Elmo Steakhouse. Gingrich told this to abcnews.com is this article that I found. And when I walked inside, says Gingrich, I saw Rob Lowe. And he was like, what is going on? And the staff all thought that he was there for the shoot. Like they all thought, oh, well, he's famous or like people know him, so he's probably there. And the producers were like, giving a weird look like, what is he doing here? So they wrote him in. And Newt Gingrich said he had a really good time and that he that he got to talk to Rob Lowe, but he was not supposed to be in the episode. This just randomly happened. Wow. Isn't that wild?
That's crazy. That's so cool.
Yeah. And
an
the director, an accident. Totally. I love this. The director of marketing that I also found in this article said St. Elmo's or the director of marketing for St. Elmo's said, there are several of us who are pretty big fans of the show. It takes place in small town Indiana, so there's ties to the towns our staff and friends grew up in. And I just thought that was so special.
That is really special. That's so cool.
But also, like, if he wasn't meant to be in the show, like, what fast writing to, like, think of Gingrich and Gergich.
Well, and you have to think they probably didn't take their whole team, right? Because they're on location. Yeah.
Crazy.
They're like, in a different city. So thinking on the toes. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And good job for them not passing that opportunity up.
I know. I think Newt Gingrich said he was a fan of Rob Lowe. So it was not, he said he was really interested in talking to him. And I'll post the article on there so you guys can read more if you want to. But so fun.
Yeah, awesome.
The next guest star that we have is the waiter that comes up to Nick Offerman. And this is John, who is played by Joe Faust. And he's been in a ton of things. Chicago Fire, a show called 61st Street, a few others. But I Googled him, and he is a Chicago-based artist and sells some really cool paintings. So I'm going to post that in the show notes and tag his Instagram and stuff. They're so great. But he sent in a voice memo, and I'm so excited that I got to talk to him. Or that he talked to us, really. But Joe Faust, who this waiter is, and Nick Offerman, I researched, are BFFs. They knew each other in Chicago. And Nick,
cool.
kind of was held, like, I don't know, had a lending hand in him being on the show, which is so sweet, and I love that. But I think he only answered the first question, so I think he's going to be sending in more, which I'll play on the next episode. But here is the first recording from Joe Faust, who plays John the waiter at St. Elmo's Steakhouse.
The question was, how did I get my job on Parks and Recreation? Yes, as you heard, I'm old friends with Nick Offerman. We went to college together, were roommates for years and years, and helped start a theater company in Chicago called Defiant Theater, and lived here in Chicago together. When the show was going to go on the road and be filmed in Indianapolis, he did call me and ask what I was doing. I was doing Christmas Carol at the time, but they were filming on a Monday, which was great because that's my day off. And so he recommended me for the job. The casting person there gave me the sides. I did the audition, sent it through my agent, but told my agent, don't send anybody else. This is a special audition. But anyway, so got the job from that. And the scene was not the same as what was written. Part of it was there. There was more to the scenes. Also, as you asked later, Newt Gingrich was not scheduled to be in the show and was there with an interview with a local journalist, and some production assistant on the show assumed Newt Gingrich was there for the show and grabbed him, brought him to the producers, directors of Parks and Rec. Like, this is Newt Gingrich. Like, hi, hi, hi. And they all shake hands, and then there's an awkward moment. And he's like, well, what are you doing here? Oh, I'm being interviewed by a local journalist here. Do you want to be on Parks and Rec? And he was like, oh, yeah, John McCain was just on the show. Yeah, that'd be fun. And so Dave King, I believe it was, and Aziz, and we all sat down at a table, and he spitballed ideas and wrote down lines on a napkin and had the idea of the Gingrich mix-up, and the scene was kind of created on the spot.
That is so crazy.
So cool.
That's wild. I didn't realize that he auditioned. I thought that since they were friends, Nick would just be able to book him, but that was okay. That's fair. That's nice. Yeah. Good job, Joe, for auditioning.
Yeah.
I would have said the same thing, though. Please don't book anyone else. Hello.
Yeah. Don't send anyone else.
Right. That's awesome. So I look forward to the answers to the other questions, because that is so cool, living with Nick Offerman and getting to just work together again. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Agreed.
Well, then we've got Things Are Going Well with Diane. I love that he's happy. It's so, so special, and you can tell how smitten he is when he says this. It's so nice.
It's huge, and I love that everybody knows him well enough to know that when he says, I like her, they know that it's real.
Yes. Yes. I think the smile is what does it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And Chris with his, like, perfect Ron speech. He's been crushing it in the friendship game, you know?
Agreed. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Then we've got Roy Hibbert coming back from Entertainment 720 fame, again with all the celebrities. I love this line, though, that he does. I'm not paying for that guy. He owes me a lot of money. It's true.
Yeah.
Says Tom. I love the way that Tom is like, yeah, that's real.
Yeah,
I'm
fair.
sorry. Well, Leslie is now waking up the morning after The Bachelorette. She's saying she tweeped. She drunk called tweep. And now they're at the site because they see that there's like these news reporters and things like that over there. Jam is talking to Tweep at the site. Jam is so awful and insults about 5 different races. Like, literally, fuck Jam right now. Can't with him.
They do such a good job of making him so awful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This construction worker does find some artifacts and he says some weird looking gummy candy. Love that so much. So
weird.
funny.
Love it.
I love that he didn't like notice that it was a penis. It was just like some weird shaped thing.
Maybe it got morphed somehow.
Oh, maybe. That's fair. This actor's name is Tim Trobeck. He's been in a lot of stuff. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You'd know him from that because I think he played like, oh gosh, I don't know. I saw it was either another cop or somebody. He comes into the precinct.
What's his first name?
Tim, Tim Trobeck. I think that's how you say it. Trobec. He was also in Happy Ending, Jimmy Kimmel Live, General Hospital, like a bunch of things.
Cool.
But yeah, I did talk to him via email, so hopefully I'll have to follow up with him because I would like to hear if he had any memories. He says he doesn't really remember the day, which honestly, I'm not expecting half these people to because it was kind of
For real.
long ago. But yeah, so hopefully he has something.
Nice.
But after the artifacts are found, Catherine Pinewood is like, okay, shut it down. We can't do anything until the American Indian Affairs Commission weighs in.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Which good for her. Like, at least you're doing the right thing now, except it's for PR, but still.
Yeah, like I have no empathy or like good for you vibes for her right now.
Fair.
But now we're at the meeting for the American Indian Affairs Commission, and I do love that all these important moments in Leslie's life were in front of that sunflower mural. I think that's very lovely, if you noticed.
Yep.
And Anne is doing that thing. It really reminded me of when she said she needed to apologize to Bobby Newport. She was like, you need to come clean to Ken Hotate. You need to just tell him.
Yeah. She's her moral sometimes, her moral compass.
Definitely. Always. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the growth in April. Even April is like, she
what I
would not
said.
have said that.
Good
before.
job. Like, April, good for you that you also saw what needed to happen. I think April's starting to care more about the influence, the relationship rather than the influence. But she's like, this is really important to Leslie. She needs to make the right decision, even if it's not the decision April would make.
Correct. Yes.
So really cool.
She's like, we don't win this way.
Yeah.
And I love Leslie's little nopism to April. Beautiful, wise, and fertile government employee.
Fertile. Gross. That word just is gross to me. To describe like I don't know. It's a word. It's not like a gross word in its right use, but that just seems like the wrong spot for
fertile.
It. Yeah. Anyway.
Fertile. Yeah. I think it's funny.
It is funny.
Yeah. I just love Leslie's compliment so much. So I feel like whatever she says in this moment is like whatever, but I understand what you're saying. And I just love that Anne tries to bond with April over this and it just doesn't work. But in my opinion, April is trying to fight how close she might be getting to Anne because she sees, I think, that they're working closer together. And I think April's like trying to push away because she sees it. And I'm like,
just let it happen.
Yeah.
Listen. Like, we've all forgotten that April and that Andy and Anne dated. So
right.
You can too.
Right.
I think Andy forgot. Yeah, because isn't there a time he's like, oh my gosh, we dated.
Yes. Yep. I think he says that when Anne, well, he says it a couple times, but when Anne is leaving too, he's like, yeah, we dated. And she's like, yeah, we lived together
for 2 years. Yeah.
For years. Back at the bachelor party, Chris had t-shirts made. This is so, so cute. I love that. But they left Jerry at the gas station. Oops.
And the sun's up. Like, good job, guys. You totally bachelored it.
Yes, that was a great move on Tom's part to get this party started. And it was such a team effort, which is so lovely, I think. Because Chris was the one that was like, yeah, let's keep it going and make everybody's bachelor party happen.
Yeah. I love it.
Well, Tom feels bad that Chris didn't get to have his moment, but technically, I guess there was no marriage for him, even though they did say that. They do say that later on. But everyone else, has had relationships, but also, Chris still deserves to have his moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think we do come to later, which we'll see.
That must have been a cool moment in the writer's room that they're like writing Ben's bachelor party and they realize literally everyone but Chris in that circle has been married.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I would love to see how that whole thing came to be because of that fact. But it's interesting.
Yeah. I also love Andy's so crazy. The Ben saying like, you know what we should do for him? Get a pet snake, but I keep it.
But I keep it. What a kid. It's like kids who they pick out a birthday or Christmas present for their parent, but it's like
so true.
Obviously what they want.
Yes. So true. Well, Leslie is now talking to Ken and saying all these awful things that they've done to the Wamapoke people. And
she's got to even it out, Holly.
Right. Oh, my God. Yeah. He's like, why are you telling me this? And she's like, I'm just trying to make you feel like what I did wasn't so bad in comparison to this. And she confesses and she apologizes and she's so sincere. I really respect her for this. I especially love the part where she's like, this isn't even about the park. I just hope that you forgive me. I love that. It's so meaningful to me to see this.
I agree. And very genuine. And I think this is important. I think I mean, we know this in other situations as well, but if he had found out and she hadn't come and talked to him, it could have been way, way worse.
I agree.
So,
And Ken really respects it too, as we'll see a little bit later, which I love.
Absolutely.
So the boys are now coming to Chris. The bachelor party is now coming to Chris and saying that he is the best man, which I love, and give him a trophy. And I have been waiting for this Andy moment pretty much since we started. I love this Andy moment. It's one of the top 5, I think, Andy moments ever. They're looking to the future on who Chris is going to marry, and Andy goes off on this tangent saying maybe Chris marries April because Andy has died in a skydiving explosion. And it lasts for so long.
It does. I should
And I have to
have
say-
timed it.
I know, really. I have to tell you guys because this is one of those moments when you're like, Chris had to have improved that.
That's
This
how
was
I
written.
feel. No, wow.
This
wow.
was written. The writers were like, why are we spending so much fucking time on this like 10-minute monologue that Pratt's going to have on this wild ass tangent? They said it killed in the writer's room. It killed at the table read. And everybody was just like, yeah, do it. And people were trying not to break because of how long it lasts. That was written.
That's amazing. Good job, writing team. And also good,
I thought you were my
good
friend.
delivery.
I thought you were my friend. Yes,
It's so
great
good.
delivery. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, that's all I was going to say. Like, I think when things are improv, because they're coming from the person, and you can correct me because I haven't done improv, but when someone's improving, I feel like it might be easier to recite the line because it's coming from you. So the
Mhm.
emotion already lives in you to provide the line. Whereas when you're reading something that's written, you're kind of channeling something that's come from someone else. And it doesn't mean you can't connect to it. It just is like, whoa, you delivered that like that was that was coming out of your brain.
Mm-hmm,
You know?
like because you wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's how that felt.
Yeah, it was so Andy. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Well, Chris is showing his growth again by saying maybe in the past he would have loved someone that's into everything that he is, healthy and all these things. But now he just wants someone who values the important things in life, friendships, passion, happiness, all those kinds of things. And I just love that. I love that so much.
Yeah. I feel like everybody kind of has to go through, and not everybody starts out like Chris, but I feel like everybody kind of has to hit that point because you're never going to find a person that's perfect.
Mhm.
Right? You're never going to find someone that hits like every box under the sun, but they're perfect for you and you fit together. And, you just have to realize you don't have control over everything, and that's okay. And
Mhm.
I think he was the most uptight person there. And he's kind of just letting go of that. And it's like, okay, I can be happy without having like someone who has the perfect body and who likes all the things I like, and
Mhm.
which is great.
I know. I think it's a really big deal. Yeah, as long as your fundamental morals are, in
Yep.
line, I think that's what's important, and it's
Mhm.
lovely. And he just wants to have someone to make happy and who makes him happy. So I think that's lovely.
Yep.
Well, now Ken is sticking up for Leslie because Leslie, I can't believe this. At first, I thought she was just going to tell Ken. I didn't think she was going to try to go on record
For
stating
real.
it in front of Jam and Catherine. But
Yeah.
she is really like going the extra mile, and Ken stops her. And
Thank God.
oh my God, yes, thank God. And I love the line of he really plays white people like a fiddle.
Fiddle.
It's amazing to watch.
It's amazing to watch.
It is.
It is. He is very good at it.
And he's saying that there's 6 paunch burgers or something in the casino. And maybe we rethink those contracts if you go back on your deal because it was really awful what you did. It reminds me of what your people did to my people back in the day. And I love that of like, is that a threat? Yes, that's obvious.
I thought that was very clear.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I love it so much. Oh my God. And then Leslie joins in and says, like, put on the ceremonial headdress. And Ken is so hilarious. Like, is it white man? I love that. Oh my God.
It's so great.
I don't
love
know
it.
if this line would have flown today. However, it's clearly making fun of the white man, which is warranted / like is okay to make
Yeah.
fun of. So maybe it would. But maybe they wouldn't have gone as far to put the headdress on. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's definitely there. Definitely doesn't touch some of the stuff that comes out in The Office that I'm like, that would definitely not go.
Ugh. Yeah, The Office is tough sometimes.
Yeah.
But amazing. So I love that Ken and Leslie are on good terms and she came clean. I think that needed to happen.
I agree. I agree.
I wanted to tell you, there is a deleted scene where they're taking down the Paunchburger sign. Like a construction truck comes by and they're really cleaning it up. And it's a Norton construction truck. And Norton is the construction company that we talked about that the gift basket or whatever was supposed to go to back in like season fucking 1, I think. Like Boys Club or something.
That's hilarious.
Season 1 or 2. And I was like, oh my God, I don't think we've seen Norton Construction since.
Yeah.
So from now on, let's just
nice
assume
pull.
that Norton Construction is always the construction people.
Yeah. It's a small enough town that could be real.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, Tweep is now coming in to City Hall and asks Ben if she can write about the bachelor party. And which is, Ben is like, what? That's weird. And which, like, I can't blame him for thinking that. But, she says that's the important things in life, like friendships and taking care of each other. And we start to see that maybe Chris and Shauna Malway Tweep will do something because they like the important things in life.
They do.
I love that Chris immediately is like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. He jumps on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I like burgers.
And he's like, okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm just keeping on thinking of, again, I'm sorry, but I'm thinking of the arc that they give Shauna Malway Tweep and like how confident she is in the beginning and then how she just goes off the deep end.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
ooh,
it's wild.
Dives.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, so now we are at the tag. Are you at the tag?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's them playing with the Colts, which is amazing, and I love that for them. How incredible to get paid to be with them. Are you kidding me? What a wonderful...
What a job.
Shoot day, and to be with your friends that, like, you're in season 5 now, so you guys are relatively close, I think, by this point.
Yeah. It's been so many hours.
Just amazing. And I love Chris saying, Pittsburgh, sweet Sandra Bullock. Give it to me.
Give it to me. It's so nice.
I will say there was a lot of B-roll that they showed in the deleted scenes where Andy goes on like a really long tangent about how he can die now and he can close his eyes and see the pearly gates because this is where he can die. And I was like, that's really sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that Chris is able to make that happen for him.
Me too. It's so special. Oh my God. The last thing I'll say is that there was a promo where Jerry shot it's like text comes up on the screen and says like the field goal is 64 yards. Is that real? Do you know off the top of your head?
The field goal is 64 yards. That's a really far field goal.
Well, I think maybe that's the longest one that there's ever been.
Let me look.
Okay, well, on the thing it said that. And then super casually, Jerry walks up, kicks it, walks away thinking like, oh, that was fun to kick that. And the camera shows that it went in, and Jerry totally nailed it.
Of course it did.
And I was like, this is amazing and hilarious. I love it so much.
Okay, so that could have been the record in 2013 now? In this?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the record was broken by Justin Tucker, who's one of the best kickers. He's been kicking for a really long time. In 2021. So his is 66 yards.
That's probably what it was. It was the record.
Yeah, so 60 so in 2013, at the end of 2013, it was Matt Prater who had a 64-yard field goal. So that was the longest in 2013.
Okay.
That's I mean, you think about it, that's really far.
Who's that guy? Matt Prater.
Matt Prater, he's also a really good kicker. He's been on for a kicker for a very long time. Both of those guys have been kicking since before I started.
On? What team? Do you know?
Right now?
A bunch?
Ooh, he's played on a lot.
Okay.
But right now he's on the Cardinals. I should have known that. I live here. He was on the he's also on the Falcons before.
That's confusing. So Cardinals is also a football team?
Yes, it is. Isn't that very confusing and not in the same city?
Okay.
Yes, so I like this Cardinals, hate the other Cardinals.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's 40 and he's still kicker.
Wow.
So,
That's
but
incredible.
yeah, you think about it, that's kicking over half the field.
Wow. That's nuts.
Yeah.
But that's amazing
Very
and great thing that they got to do that. Amazing. But yeah, I mean, do you have anything else any notes that we didn't get to say?
No, I just love this episode. This episode
Me
to
too.
me is a relationship episode and I love it.
I know, me too. It was a great episode, and it's just like so much was happening. It's nuts.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Even though it was only 2 storylines, right?
Right. Yeah.
It was a lot.
So thank you to Eker for sending that in, to Joe Faust for sending that in. We will probably get some other voice memos, hopefully from other people, but don't forget to follow, rate, review, all the things. We hope that you have a lovely end to your 2024 and try not to stress as much if you can. I don't know. Whatever. But hopefully we'll be here to, make you laugh if we can, or just, disassociate. That's fine too for now.
It is what it is.
Let us know if you have any questions, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for listening, everybody.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
There's a park and some pals, and there's also therapy too.